Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, Make the Best Choice for Your MBA in Asia. My name is Nelly, and I'll be the moderator on behalf of the Unimi team. And I'm here with our special guests and speakers. First, I want to present Jay, who is Manager Marketing Admissions at Hong Kong University School of Business and Management. I also want to welcome Elisa and Humber, two current students who will tell us a bit more about their experience studying in Hong Kong. Before giving the word to them, I want to tell everyone who is listening, you can ask questions anytime during the webinar using the Q&A or chat box. We'll take time to answer all of your questions at the end of the session, and all questions are welcome, so don't hesitate. Okay, everything is set now, so Jay, I'm giving the word to you.
Thank you, Nelly. So thank you for everyone attending this webinar. So I will first start with a brief introduction of our program, and then I will have a chat with our two students, that is Elisa and also Humber. In later part, I will also share some application tips for you to aid your application. And finally, there will be a Q&A sections that we can address any questions that you may have. So I will now share my screen to talk briefly about our program. Just a moment. I think you can see my screen. Okay. So first of all, I will invite every one of you to stay in touch with HKUST MBA program, because today we have a key highlight of the program, but ongoing we will publish our news through our e-news and also our social media. So please scan this QR code, or you can always go to our website to subscribe to our e-news so that you will keep update with our program. So about our curriculum, you will see that we are divided into core courses on the left and also the flexible core and electives on the right. You can see that we will first set the business foundation for our students. So it will be an enterprise leadership. So what it means is that there will be a curriculum on marketing, strategic management, technology, and operations management. Another key part is about the financial leadership, because business is all about numbers. So we want you to understand this part as well. So there will be topics like managerial microeconomics, finance, and financial accounting. So, and then we will have the flexible core and electives. So you will see that they will contribute the major about 70% of the course credit, because we want to let you have a more flexibility of the curriculum to suit your needs. So, and it also based on your career goal. So there could be some courses like effective negotiation, managerial communication, etc. So we will leave the flexibility to you so that you can tailor your MBA. So on top of this business foundation that we will help you with, we will also provide you some trending topics in business world nowadays. So there are two. One is the technology know-how. So it will be like some AI. I think everyone knows it's really a hot topic now, and I think it should be the trend in the future. And also some cryptocurrency, etc. Another very important topics that we would like the students to get to know is about the ESG, about the sustainability. So you will see example of the courses like sustainability application in the corporate world. So you will see not just the business foundation in a broad sense, but also two key ones that is very important in nowadays business world, because we want to develop leaders of tomorrow. About our professor, we always have very good word of mouth from our professor. So you will see that they are coming from different universities around the world. And there are also some big names of the university like Harvard and also Wharton. Some of them are specialized in the academic research, and some are really from the industry. They are the industry experts. So they are the adjunct professor. So you will see we have different mix of the faculty, so that we want you to learn from different faculty from different aspects. Beyond the classroom, we always encourage students to go outside the classroom, because it's not just about the curriculum and also learn from the faculty. We also want you guys to learn from the students. So we also aim to have a variety of students. So we encourage students to form their student clubs. So on the right-hand side, you will see that there are some different themes of the students in the recent years. So we also want to encourage some culture exchange. You will see there is some Japan club, sushi nights, and also some Indian Festival of Lights. And we also encourage students to go outside to join the international case competition. I'm also very happy to share with you that this year we will send 3 teams out. One team already completed the competition and they won the competition. Actually, we have a good track record for students to win the international competition. It is very interesting courses for our faculty to prepare the student to go outside, because we want them to really experience what work business world works. So in this kind of competition, usually the student will spend a few days there, get a business case, and then they will have to propose some recommendation to address the business case. So it is also a proof of a quality of our professor. So about the overseas exchange, this is also one of the topics that candidates will ask us about. For HKUST MBA, we are proud that we have a strong network around the world. So you will see that there are nearly 50 international exchange partners that we work with. They're also from Asia, from China, from US, from Europe, that you can choose from a variety of choices. About the career highlight, because we know that most of the full-time students, they would like to have a career change, no matter it is in location, function, or industry. So you will see that 92% of our students will work in Asia after their MBA with us, because most of them come to HKUST because they want to explore the opportunities in Asia. There are also some students, they will work in Europe and Americas, so it depends on your needs. So about the employment highlights, many of them are able to change their job function or industries. And regarding the employment rates 3 months after an MBA, I also got a very good news to share. That's for our latest class. Actually, for those who are looking for a job, all of them are able to achieve it. So you can see we are increased from 95% to 100%. So it is also a record high to us. And to achieve this, not just we are offering the platform and provide the support that you need, we also work closely with you to achieve the goal. So this is a very quick and brief highlights of our program. So coming next will be the key content of the webinar. So that's why we have Humber and also Elisa here. So I think at this time, I will first invite Elisa and Humber to have a self-introduction of themselves first. Maybe we will start with Elisa first.
Yes, thanks a lot, Jay. Yeah, my name is Elisa. I'm a full-time MBA student at HKUST, and I started just in 2022 in August, where I also came first to Hong Kong. So I actually come from Germany. And yeah, why did I do an MBA? So I wanted to explore, the opportunities in Hong Kong and especially also Asia. So my background is I was a consultant at BCG before, and I did a lot of strategy projects and M&A projects. So I wanted to use my MBA also to deepen my business knowledge and, focus on also strategy and M&A topics during that time. And also because, HKUST is also, as Jay mentioned, a very good MBA to deepen technology knowledge as well as ESG knowledge. I also took that as an opportunity to deep dive more into those contents. Yeah, and I would say the last thing I wanted to use the MBA for is also to build the network, because I think that's the most important part, right? To build a community, to connect with people, and then also work together with a diverse, set of people, because our class is very international. I mean, I come from a European background, so it was great for me to just dive into different cultures and find a way how to work best in teams.
I see. So Humber, your turn.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Thanks, Elisa. So I am Elisa's classmate, actually. We are all in full-time MBA class. And before joining the MBA program, I was a consultant in Shanghai in Nomura Research Institute, which is the largest Japanese consulting firm in and it has a branch in China. So back then I was majorly focused on automotive industry, and my clients will include like Toyota, Honda, and so on. But after my career there, I thought maybe get something actually done, get something actually implemented under my hand would be more exciting than consulting to me. So I think maybe I want to switch my job, but how to make it happen? There are lots of I would say two aspects. One is about the skills. Sorry. Oh, sorry. My maybe network issue. I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
Right.
you.
Yeah. So there will be two aspects. One is about the skill sets, because when I was in consulting, very little implementations and in corporate internal communications are involved in my job. Thus, I think maybe some basic, guidelines and some would be very helpful for me. And MBA journey will actually help a lot. And also connections, just as what Elisa just mentioned, connections will be very important to work in industry. So I'm here, and I'm so happy to meet all of our classmates and alumni from all different backgrounds. And that's a very, very, valuable journey for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you both. So I think it's interesting to have both of you, because one is from the Europe side and one is from China. So we can see different perspective. Yeah, so I can see that you will see for an MBA, the knowledge it provides you and also network will benefit you both. So so you see at that time you were considering an MBA. So I'm interested to know, because there are so many MBA around the world. So why would you choose one in Asia, and why would you choose HKUST? Maybe this time I will ask Humber first.
Great. So why Asia and why Hong Kong? Because for me, I was born and bred in China, and I'm kind of a family person. I want to stick to Greater China region, majorly for two reasons. One is I'm kind of family. I want to stay near with my family, and the other issue is that I think during my career I figured out that no matter how harsh the trade war is, no matter how the regression goes, no one could ignore the China market. And many of our clients just can't find a better, substitute of Chinese supply chain. So in the long run, I'm quite optimistic about the economies in Asia, and especially in Greater China. So I want to stick to Greater China. And when sticking to Greater China, it remains that lots of various like options. I can also choose Peking. I can also choose Shanghai, right? But Hong Kong still could offer the most international exposure. See, in our class, I met Elisa from Europe, and I met people from South Africa. I met people from India. I met people from Japan and Korea. I met people from all over the world. And despite this, only Hong Kong, the city itself, is so international. I met so many people from different culture, and I happened to learn how they live and how they lead their lives and how they work and how can we work as a team. So if I have to stay in Greater China, in Hong Kong is the best way to offer lots of international exposure. So I choose Hong Kong for most relationships and connections within Greater China, and also the international exposure, which is very, very interesting. Thanks.
Okay, how about Elisa?
Sure. Yeah, as Humbert said, I can only agree that for me it was also, I wanted to learn more about Asia, like coming from a European background, and therefore I was especially interested in also learning more about China, because as Humbert also said, it's one of the country and region that is growing fastest, right? So I believe that Hong Kong is a great location in the Greater Bay Area to just tap into that and learn more about. And here, great opportunities. Hong Kong is still one of Asia's biggest, finance centers. There are a lot of industries that are just emerging, a lot of going on, especially around tech and ESG, a lot of opportunities that are just picking up in Hong Kong. Also with the COVID restrictions that are lifted, I think there are a lot of opportunities also now going on in the future. Therefore, I chose the location Hong Kong over like other locations in Asia. And then the HKUST MBA I chose also mainly due to conversations that I had with alumni. So I just approached some colleagues that did a HKUST MBA and asked them how they like the experience, and they came back very positive to me. So yeah, that's why I was also encouraged to do the MBA in HKUST. And I think also when you do the interviews, right, with different schools, for me it was also I could ask a lot of questions, and I just felt that this is the right fit, the HKUST MBA. And lastly, I would also say that I very much enjoy Hong Kong as a city. I think that's not how you should choose your MBA, but this is definitely a plus because I really like the lifestyle in Hong Kong. Yeah.
I see. So Elisa, you just now mentioned that you also talk to our alumni when you are considering to apply to HKUST MBA. So that will also set your expectation about our program. And so far you are our students. So what do you think about it? Because you may have expectation from alumni before. So does it match the expectation? How do you enjoy our program so far?
Yeah, definitely. There are so many ways in how you can contribute and shape your experience at the MBA. I would say I guess everyone has a very different experience depending on what you want to get from it, right, and what you want to do afterwards. But I feel the point that stand out to me was that there's a very close-knit alumni community. And there are a lot of events that the alumni are supporting, but also organizing a lot of mixes where you can connect to them. But also, for example, I'm heading the entrepreneurship club in HKUST, and whenever I approach some alumni, if they want to organize a coffee chat with us or a company visit, they're always super open to support us and have very good also memories back to their student time. So I think it's definitely a good experience. Yeah.
I see. So Humber, can you also share with us what do you enjoy most about our program, or did you attend any alumni mixer that benefit you much?
Yes, indeed. I mean, one of the most valuable things I got from this MBA journey so far is the connections with our classmates and also our alumni. Actually, just last week, I was on the school's Singapore school career track. So I went to Singapore and meet lots of our alumni there. And one of them happened to be in the energy industry, and we share lots of ideas about the future of energy industry, including the future of EV, which is my expertise, and also the future of oil, gas, and so on. It was so interesting to talk with so many people, and especially when once you're interested in, say, an industry, you can always consult someone, and they will always give you whatever they know. So it was a great experience, and also many of us got their jobs via alumni and maybe classmates. So I think this is very, very valuable. And beyond that, I would say even those, courses are also, because this is a master program, right? MBA is still a master program, and I mentioned about my career switch. I wanted to make it happen. So, and sharpen skills and acquire some new skill sets is also another goal of my MBA career, of my MBA journey. And luckily, I met so many nice professors. They're not those professors only absorbed in the academics but also many of them have some backgrounds in industry. So when it comes to, say, a managerial communication, they told me a lot, like what will actually happen in the industry, instead of just telling you about these theories. So I had lots of experience in practicing in some real life cases, and it did pay off. I mean, even during my internship in Schneider as as corporate strategy manager, this did happen, and those skills did help me to facilitate those meetings within the corporate with various stakeholders. So it's some great journey so far.
Yes,
Thank
yes. I think yes, I think that the professor will give you a good insight about the stakeholder management nowadays. That is getting more important because we need collaboration with people at a different level in the organization. So you're mentioning about a course and also a professor. So may I also check with us about the course that Elisa so far, okay, in this journey so far with us, any courses that you have gain from a professor, or any courses that inspire you much?
Yeah, definitely. So several courses, right? It's hard to restrict myself to one, so I will maybe mention two. So the first was the Enhancing Professional Skills course. So that was quite an intense course. It was 1 week of very intense sessions. So presentations about how you can, in theory, enhance your professional skills, but then you were also invited to do that in practice. So we basically split in groups and prepared a case. And at the end of the course, there was a case competition that we all participated in. So we did a case as well as a pitch competition. And for me, it was great on the one hand to learn, how to best, do the content for the case, how to best also do the slides, etc. So that was a part of it, the problem solving and the structure. But also on the other hand, I think a very important part, which is often not taught as much, is how you present yourself, right? How you really do the pitch. Also, like how you present yourself and get feedback also from your classmates as well as the professor, which was super valuable. Watching videos and just reflecting on how you present and how others and how that comes across. So I think that was like one of the very, very helpful experiences. And I would also say in MBA, it's just a good opportunity for yourself to do and experience and get feedback in a very controlled environment, right? Because if you do that in your job, it might have bad consequences if you don't perform as good, or if you try something new, right? But in the MBA, you really have the opportunity to also fail sometimes, because you step out of your comfort zone, right? So it's just a very controlled environment to just do the learnings and make the learnings that you always wanted to do, right? To step up in your career as a leader. And then I would say the second most impressive courses were for me also the technology courses. So I did an abundance of them. So for example, artificial intelligence for business applications, and cryptocurrencies also in blockchain. And there I really had the opportunity to also build my own AI model, which predicted some outcomes, which was great. Also, we had the opportunity to write some code to mine cryptocurrencies and also minted NFTs, which for me was just a great insight, something I always wanted to do, and definitely super helpful to just understand the concepts, right? I mean, I won't be the tech person in the future, right? But for me as a business leader, it's so important to have this data and technical knowledge digested at a certain level, so I know, what how to bring it into reality, how to implement it, what are the pitfalls, what are the important factors to get right. So yeah, I would say that's a two great experiences that I made in the courses.
Yeah, for the business technology courses, you're right that we are not actually want to produce a more programmer, also technical person, but as a leader, you will need to know the application or what it is about, so that you can get the expert to do some activation that help the business. So this is exactly what we want our students to get equipped with. You also mentioned about the EPS courses, that is the Enhancing Professional Skills. Yes, that's one, as I think it is also one of the very interesting courses. So not only for prepare students to go outside to have the experience of the international case competition. I think in real work life, presentation or get to the point to present your solution to a management, how do you present yourself, what should be the presentation. I think these are also very important. So prepare, you're also very good to point out that is it in a control situation that you can fail because there will be no consequence. But in workplace, there may be some perception formed. So you will have a very good training place to get in touch with what needed in the business world. I think I truly agree with your insight. I'm very happy that you can get this from our program as well. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing this experience. So I think the audience may now want to know, okay, how do you get into HKUST MBA? So talking about how to prepare for the application, maybe first I will talk about the GMAT. I know that students may need to take, candidates may need to take some time to prepare for it. So I will first ask about Humber. At that time, how do you prepare the GMAT? Is it very tough? How do you manage it?
Actually, you see, our background of our classmates is very, it's very diversified. So when I was a bachelor, I was majored in English. So GMAT wasn't that hard for me. And actually, I did not spend lots of time on it. But yes, I did do some preparations, especially on the sentence correction. I think for us, because under very limited time, maybe just one or two mock examinations will be in need, and after those mock examinations, just find out where you lose those points, and practice it alone will be good enough. And that's what I did, and the results was actually kind of good after a week's preparation. Thanks.
A week of preparation is really amazing. So how about Elisa?
Yeah, so I think I spent much more preparation for the GMAT. But I think that it definitely depends on, how much work experience you have and how far away you are from uni, right? Because the testing environment is something very different because, like it can be very stressful to do that test where you have like one chance to get it right. So for me, I would recommend you, depending on what kind of test taker you are, to start as early as it is possible for you, right? But don't squeeze it in any short amount of time, but just do it continuously so that you just get used to the format and to the questions, and just do an hour whenever you have time. And for me, I did it as early as I could. Like I think I started even a year ago, just to do my first practice run so that I have enough time to retake it if I'm not happy with the exams. And then the last advice I would say is just be relaxed about it, because you can retake it if it doesn't work. So don't stress yourself too much, because you're as good as you are, and trust in your preparation and your knowledge and skills.
Yep. I also hear some candidates that actually they also retake it just to get a higher score. And sometimes also they will start the application first, even they may not have the GMAT yet. So submit the application first, and then later on you can prepare the GMAT, so that as long as you can provide the GMAT score before the application deadline, that will be fine. So if you have submitted the application, we know that you are working on it, let us know so that we can provide the assistance that we can provide. So good. So this is about the GMAT. So how about the essay questions? So Elisa, how do you prepare for the essay questions?
Yeah, essay questions. Right. So I just gave myself a lot of time, started very early, because I think the whole process with the essay questions is also just knowing what you want to do in your MBA, right? So I think that's something you need to figure out first, what you want to do, in 5 years and 10 years. So I think that process can be very long. So if you have that settled, and also talk about it with friends and with family, if that makes sense, and just be very certain in what you want to do, approach the essays and write it down. And then also again, give the essays to your friends or family so they can help you to polish it, the essays. Yeah, so I think that would be the process, and just be very authentic with, you know, what you want to do, because if you have the interview, right, you will get questions about your essays, and if they don't match what you wrote down there, I think that's not good, because the MBA admissions team, they want to get to know you for you and what you want to do and how they can support you on your way. So yeah, just be very open and authentic about it.
Yes, authentic is important, because if you're not authentic, so we ask question in interview, so it's very easy that we can see that. So it will not have some problem with the confidence as well when you are attending the interview. So be genuine about yourself, just share your true thoughts, then that will be fine. So how about Humbert? How do you manage the essay questions at that time?
Yeah, I totally agree with Elisa, because it's all about communication for me. It's like you're telling the school, hey, I really need this MBA program. I want to join because I want to say I want to get something from this program. So maybe I want to learn, maybe I want some connections, and what can I contribute to this program? And everyone can, we can just be very frank. And I've talked with my classmates about their essays as well. Everyone's so frank about it. Even someone told me that actually they haven't got their future view very clearly when applying this MBA, and they want to figure it out during the MBA, and even that is acceptable. So I think being frank and tell our admission officers what we need and how this program could help would be good enough for the essay, because it's just like writing to a pen pal, and authentication would be the most important thing for me. So, and when it comes to, I see that many of our audience are from China, just like me, right? So don't worry too much about your English. Just express your views, express whatever you want to say. Because language itself is all about communication instead of like being polite. Being polite is the second thing, but communicating and and speak out your mind is the most important thing. So language won't be a very big barrier. Just speak out your mind and be frank with whatever you think would be good enough.
Yep. So I also like what you mentioned about being frank, so that we know your needs, so that we can provide specific support to suit your needs. That's also important, so that we can later on, knowing that maybe you have specific needs on this area, we will focus on this area to help you. So these are all very useful tips for the candidates. So here comes about the interview. So Humbert, how do you manage the admission interview?
Oh, the admission interview, it was so lovely. Actually, we went beyond the time limits when having that interview, because it's nothing like the interviews I've ever had. Because going back to those interviews for a job or something, it's all about what you can provide and how would you do your job in the future, and how can I trust you that you can actually do the job. But in this interview, it's more about communication. So it's just like chatting with the interviewee. It's not like an interview, but just a regular chit chat communication. So I still remember that since the last like 10 minutes, my interviewer gave me tons of suggestions on what I should do if I want to make this career switch happen, and what I can do when I enter into this program, say what courses would be most beneficial for me. So it was just like communication. And at the very beginning, I was so stressed out that I even told I can't speak words clearly, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too nervous. Can I just take like 1 minute and then we communicate together? And as a result, it turned out just communication. So just be relaxed and tell each other what you want. It's like not only you tell the admission officer what you want from this program, also they tell you what they want from you, what you can contribute, and also what our program will offer you. So it's an amazing communication. Don't be nervous about that. Just be frank and make friends with our admission team.
Yes, because we also treat the interview as a mutual an opportunity to mutually understand each other. So what you want to look for from an MBA, what you want to achieve, and then we will let you know how we can help you to achieve this. Because this is also a time that we can share our expectation to each other. So we will help you to achieve your career goal. At the same time, we also would need your help to also continue to build the program, to build the network, so that we overall can develop more business leader for tomorrow. So just treat it as a chance to understand each other and tell your true thoughts. And then we will also share with you more support or information that you may need to consider an MBA. So how about you, Elisa? How about your experience about the admission interview?
Yeah, so I also can't agree more with Humber. I also had a great interview experience, and I really enjoyed the exchange with the interviewer. So what I would say, again, be authentic, don't be nervous. But if you are like this person also, as Humbert mentioned, that is nervous in those interview situations, practice questions beforehand, right? Just have those stories for some questions that you can just reproduce so that you feel comfortable with that situation. Because again, it's all about practicing and also speaking things out loud, especially if you're not a native English speaker, and if that context also in an online conversation is different for you. So just practice that with different people, and maybe also in that online setting. And then last advice would be also, as Jay mentioned, there's an opportunity to get to know the other side as well. So prepare some questions that really interest you and that really are tailored to your interests and what you want to experience at the MBA, that make you stand out from the others, and just be very genuine what you want to experience.
Great sharing. So maybe it's my turn to share some admission tips to the candidates. So I will share my screen again. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. So tips for applying to HKUST MBA program. I also saw questions about what kind of students that we are looking at. Actually, our aim is to recruit a diversified for students in the class, because we do believe that students can learn from each other. So this is one of the key admission criteria for us, is to add diversity to the class. So we're also looking for some future-oriented leaders, meaning that they will have their own goal, and also not just the immediate goal, maybe the goals that in 3 or 5 years times, because sometimes when you achieve your career goals, it's not just one stop, you can achieve this. You may take several steps. So you need to clear about your future, what you're going to be. So we also were looking for some students that they will challenge themselves. And then because we want someone that is motivating to continue to improve themselves and enhance themselves. We're also looking for some students that is active participation in the program, no matter that they can contribute by, if they have some network, they can help organizing some seminar to share with the students. And then also if there could be some job opportunities that arise from some networking or alumni events, they will also share with each other. So we want a team that is, they can help each other to grow together. So of course, we also would like to have students that have a good track record of achievement of resilience, because ultimately we want someone that is proactive and have clear goals to build their career path, with closely working with us, so that we can also see how we can help during the journey. So about the application for the intake, coming intake. So round 3 deadline will be March 8th, that means 2 days later. But we also extend to round 4 application. to May 1st for worldwide candidates. And then for those who already have a valid visa, then they can further apply to us by June 6th. But I will encourage you to apply early, because as long as we have because we also want to keep our cohort size compact to encourage sufficient interaction between students. So to apply early, and then we will do the admission interviews on rolling basis. So just don't wait for the last minute. So we also offer scholarships and financial aid to students. So we will evaluate based on the work achievements, their international exposure, academic performance, and also interview performance. So we will consider in a broad sense. Here I also list some of the scholarship that we have. First is about the merit scholarship, and also some themed professional awards, including business technology and innovation, women award, global citizenship, etc. And also the entrepreneur award. So you will see that we are trying different ways to recruit students with a variety of background. So just please stay in touch with us. If you have very detailed questions to ask, specific info that you need, I will highly recommend you to schedule a one-to-one consultation with our admission teams. So here on the left-hand side will be the QR code for consultation. You can also register it through the website. So interact with our students and alumni. We have Unibuddy program on website that you can connect with them. And also follow our social media channels so that you can see the latest news of our program. Okay, so that's all for our sharing so far. Then it's time for the Q&A. So I take a look, there are two questions coming in. The first is about what background and skills you're looking for in a prospective MBA candidate. So I briefly also mentioned this is that we do not have a specific background to recruit. Ultimately, we want a diversified student profile so that they can learn from each other. There is a question about how to balance life and study and how demanding about the classes. This is also one of the common questions that people will ask about our students. So maybe I will let Elisa start first, and then also Humber can later add his points.
Yeah. So let me start with that. So I would say, again, it's a very different experience for everyone. It very much depends on what you want to take away from the MBA program and where you set your focus, right? So are the courses what you want to get out of the MBA program, then you can deep dive into the courses, and then you will have enough time also for the courses. But if you want to, you know, do the networking, do extracurricular activities, and the courses, then it can be challenging to juggle everything. But then it may be maybe also enough to not get an A+ in every course, right? So I think it's definitely what you want to achieve, and then you can, just organize your schedule around your goals and achievements. And I would definitely do that in the beginning when you start the program. So we also have coaching, for example, that is offered by our career services. And my coach in the beginning said to me, yeah, Lisa, write down your 3 goals, what you want to achieve and how much time you actually want to spend every week to pursue those goals, right? And I think that was a great advice for me to be, more straightforward about my experience, because otherwise I would be like, oh no, I did too little for my course, or oh no, I did too little for career or for networking. But if you have the plan set out towards achieving your goals, I think that's a great way how to manage everything.
So how about Humbert?
Yeah, as for work-life balance, study-life balance, actually. Actually, if you just wanna finish all those courses, the workload won't be that high, and I would say it would be much less stressful for comparing to works. Of course. And actually we have like young mothers still taking care of their children, and So, and they can also take care of their academic performance. Actually, she outperformed me. So I think for study life balance, it would be kind of very easy to handle, but those rest of the time is for like for those extracurriculum like career services and career activities, and also for alumni and networking, all kinds of those stuff. Trust me, if you want to get busy like me, because I'm on accelerated track, and I've taken some 4 months of almost full-time internships. You can make yourself as busy as you wish. It can't be more busy. So I mean, it depends on what you want to do. So just as Elisa just mentioned, if you want to like do more things for your family, or maybe chill out a bit, of course you can do it. The study workload is not so high, but if you want to get more connections and say try some different industries and get an internship, yes, you can. It can become very busy as well. So it depends on what you want.
Yes, that's truly right, because it depends what you want to achieve. Do you want to have good grades, or you want to know more alumni, or you want to work in an internship so that you have more work experience in the field that you want? So set out what you want to achieve, and then you can divide your time on this, and then work according to the plan. And also, of course, you can always adjust. Also depends on your needs. So I think with this good plan, then you will be able to manage the time. Anyway, it's because the program is like you can take either to 12 months or 16 months. So just manage it in this 12 months or 16 months, then it will be the assets that you can carry for the rest of your life. So this is also a question that you need to ask yourself, what you want to achieve best from the HKUST MBA program. And also the motivation is very important. If you are motivated, I think you will make it. Depends on your needs, right? Okay, I also saw a question about what percentage of people enter at the age of 32 or elder. And for our full-time program, the average age is about 28, and then we have a range like mid-20 to mid-30. So I will see that age is not an issue in a program. We welcome everyone. So this is not a big concern because just get the most from the program that you need, then you can achieve your goal. Okay, so and I think that these are all the good questions and good tips from our students. Is there any questions from the audience that would like to know? We still have some time.
I don't see any more questions from the audience, but if you allow me one question to Elisa or Humber,
Yep.
Because I speak with a lot of MBA students, something I really love asking, is there something or was there something that really surprised you? And it could be something related to the program or yourself. Sometimes people tell me, oh, I realized that I really like accounting maybe, or you realized maybe you are more outgoing than you thought. So something that you realized that surprised you during your experience.
Do you want to go, Humber, or?
You go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, as said, I never really worked or studied in Asia. So for me, the cultural exchange was very much important. And in that course, I realized that there are some cultural differences, but in the end that we all have the same things we are interested in and things we care about, and also aspirations, what we want to achieve, and goals. So for me, it was on the one side very interesting to see how differently we were culturalized on the one hand, and how that impacts also us working together and how we can deal with that in a group. But then on the other hand, realizing that we are quite similar in how we are and how we interact and what our interests are. So that was a great insight for me to see.
Because I was kind of surprised by the diversity of our class profile, and also the close relationships and connections between our students, fellow students. Because actually I am the youngest in class, and I was a bit worried about the age group, because I never dealt a lot with like people older than 35, and I didn't make many friends of that age. But in our program, in our class, we made very good friends, and we share the same topics, and we do the same sports. For example, yesterday there was a sports event, and all of our class, and also class from HKU and class from CUHK, they all got involved, and we were competing on soccer and football and badminton, and we form up teams like with at different ages and different gender, but we played very hard, and it was so fun. So I mean, the connections within campus is very different from those connections outside of campus. And these chemicals is just that right, just like what we did when I was a bachelor. So it amazed me by a lot, because despite the diversified background and age and gender, we still team up as a team, and we still support each other, just like what we did when we were bachelors or even high school students. So I'm loving this relationship.
Thank you for these answers. Okay, Jay, I see a couple of questions coming in the Q&A box that maybe you can help with.
Yep. So I saw Ling have two questions. First is about our enrollment in round 3. Actually, we don't have a specific number about each round. We need to enroll how many students, because once the class is filled, then it will be closed, because it's on rolling basis. You also asked about you would like to start your social enterprise in long term. Any resources from the program that can help you? I can say that for our alumni, definitely we have alumni from social enterprise that they can give you advice or connection. Second one is about for our full-time program. We also have social impact club that they also organize some activities or connect with some social enterprise to arrange some, for example, some visits, or engage their personnel to come to share experience, so that you can build a network as well. Because when you have the social club, you can try make good use of this to achieve what you want to achieve. You want someone to give advice, to have some visits, then you can name it. Because social impact is also something that we want our students to make in the society. So we do encourage that. If anything that we can do, we were happy to help. So I just named two. One is about the alumni, and also the social impact club in the full-time program.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Okay, Jay, no more questions. So if you have any final words before saying goodbye to everyone.
Yep. So thank you so much for everyone to attend. I'm also happy for Elisa Humber to share the very useful tips. So just a reminder for the application, please do apply early, because once the class is filled, then it will be closed. So to apply by in coming months, so that we hope to see you in HKUST MBA program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.